Everest Base Camp Training, Volume 1. Never spoken to a camera before. This feels insane. I feel like a narcissist weirdo, because who gives a fuck that I'm hiking this mountain? But anyways, I just want to be able, for my own records, I guess, look back on this and see what the process of training, and obviously I want to make a video when I'm out there and just remember what that experience was like. I've never really made videos before, so this is my first stab at it. This is not going to be entertaining at all. The editing's probably going to be pretty bad, so don't feel obligated to continue watching. Anyways, headed up to the White Mountains this weekend. Got Cooper with me. Did go up last weekend to the White Mountains too. Had an awesome weekend just hiking around. Did not do any of the 4,000 footers. That's kind of part of why I'm recording this as well. I would like to record myself doing all of those. Been an ambitious goal, definitely going to take years to do. But anyways, this is a start. We tried to do Mount Tecumseh together last weekend, and I was not equipped, and Cooper not equipped. I did not have micro spikes, and as soon as I pulled in, I looked up. I didn't realize it's at the base of Waterville Valley ski area, which I've actually skied before. You look up and there's snow at the top. I live in Connecticut. There's not snow anywhere in the state right now. So I'm like, well, I think I'm screwed. And then I pulled up all trails, and all these recent reviews were saying you need micro spikes to make it to the top. So I didn't even know what micro spikes were before last weekend. So we're learning as we go here. So I went to REI today and I bought some micro spikes. 75 bucks, which was a little steeper than I expect, but they're Catula brand. You just put them over your boots. If you're watching this and you're into hiking, you're probably laughing at me right now. But again, nobody's watching this. So anyways, I'm gonna do Tecumseh tomorrow. Gonna be pretty bad weather. I'm already seeing some clouds. I'm halfway through Massachusetts right now. I'm near Lowell. But a 100% chance of rain tomorrow, 60% chance of rain on Sunday. But you know what? Nepal might have some shitty weather, and I'm just gonna have to push through that. So why not just push through some adversity, get the experience, get my muscles and my joints trained up while I'm here and while I have the time. So headed up to Tamworth, New Hampshire, which is like the southeast of the White Mountains. The cool story about where I'm staying, I'll tell that once I'm up there. But yeah, 2 hours left, and I'll record another video when I'm up there. You can judge me all you want. Got some Wendy's on the way, chicken sandwich, some nugs, some fries. Definitely not proud of this. Wendy's is not the bottom of the barrel. It's not McDonald's. It's not Taco Bell, but not a proud purchase. I'm in a pinch. There's not a lot of places open. There's plenty of places open. It's 6:30 on a Friday. I have a lot of options. But I wanted to eat quickly. And you know what? I'm 28. I take pretty good care of myself usually. So I'm going to enjoy fast food while I can before it gives me cancer. All right. Unprompted nugget review. Wendy's nuggets have gone downhill, man. These things were like top of the food chain when it came to fast food nuggets. I haven't had a McDonald's nugget in a decade, but I can only imagine they're still the same quality. Just blowing these out of the water. Fries, 8 out of 10, as you would expect from Wendy's. Still phenomenal. Chicken nuggets, 4.5 at best. Do better. All right, so I'm up in Tamworth now. Cooper's over there, smelling around. I mentioned in the car that what I did for housing for this and last weekend was kind of cool, so I just want to talk about that really quick. I did something that's called rental arbitrage this past winter, which is like the fancy term for basically just signing a long-term lease on any property and then getting the landlord's permission, writing it into the lease that you're allowed to then sublet it on Airbnb. So I hosted on Airbnb without actually owning a property. Reason being, I have a full-time job. I work a lot. I didn't really know if hosting on Airbnb was going to be something that's like sustainable or that I would even enjoy it. Like, I don't know, I've heard horror stories about people having parties and wrecking your place and stuff. So I wanted to try it out with minimal risk kind of, and not, you know, spend all this money to buy something and come back and forth and furnish it and hire contractors just to hate it and not want to do it anymore. So it was a great experience. Went relatively well in terms of bookings this past winter. So I had it from November 1st of last year, 2024, through end of April. It's April 25th, so this is the last weekend that I have it. And Cooper loves it up here. One of the coolest things, I'll show like the bedrooms really quick and the kind of setup all throughout. But one of the coolest things is the location. That it's nighttime right now, so I can't really show, but I'll show that at some point this weekend. So where I just was is the master. It has a king and a twin. This is not as nice as it was when there were guests. So obviously like stripped all the beds, took a lot of the decorations down and whatnot. Like there were some paintings, and I had like a pair of skis up here. That one has a full and a twin, or a queen and a twin. This one has a queen. Again, a little less pretty than it was. Go downstairs to the main floor. Little seating area. Sorry, probably terrible lighting. Nice kitchen. Full bath is in there. Big dining room. I think it could sleep 8 guests, so we made sure there were 8 seats. Nice living room with a Wii. I brought up some extra games and controllers for that. And downstairs is a fun area, the game room, where I had a dartboard on that wall right there with some extra art over there, and I put this thing up. I'm just gonna leave that there because I have no use for it. I don't have a ping pong table. Ping pong table and shuffleboard were already here, and then that's a TV with a Roku. But the coolest thing, or really what like drew me to this place in particular, is the location. Oh wow, that's terrible. You probably can't see me. The location. So relatively close to the White Mountains. He's just having a blast right now. Relatively close to the White Mountains, not like in the mountains, but this neighborhood has a beach at the end of it that people use in the summer. So it would be good to have property here like year round. I'm not gonna buy one here right now, but cool to know, you know, that I enjoyed the experience of hosting on Airbnb. Really cool views from the beach down the street. I'll show that at some point, but yeah, just wanted to show around really quick. Not gonna lie, pretty shitty out. Been dumping rain all day. It's almost noon right now. I'm getting to the mountain at 12:15. Oh my God, it's coming down. Yeah, delayed by a lot this morning. Kind of procrastinated getting started on this hike, but decided I'm gonna, it keeps getting worse as I'm driving west. Decided I'm gonna try to go for it. So we'll see if I make it to the top, or maybe I turn around when I get there. We'll update soon. All right, this is not gonna go very well. Just left the parking lot. People said that they could cross this first water pass, but the second one is like up to your waist. So I'm gonna see how far I can make it without dying. And I'm gonna turn around in like 5 minutes. Honestly, rain is not as bad as I expected. Nice trail, but yeah, I'm not making it to the summit. Might as well just try to get a little bit of a workout, get my knees moving, and see how far I can go. The rapids are rapid. That was stupid. See what they were talking about now. I'm at the second crossing of the water. Definitely not a well-paved path. I'm gonna give it a go. I'm out here alone. If this camera gets found, this is how I died. Been a good run. Been a good 28 years. Let's see. Might not be happening. Fucking A. Okay, up there. Mine another spot. Put my foot in for half a second. And what happens when you put your foot in water is it gets wet. So, for some reason, didn't expect that outcome. But here we are. We're gonna give this a go. Cool. Let's go farther up. Looks a little calmer. Oh. Good money. This is the spot. Maybe. Oh, do we balance beam across this street? Oh, I'm doing that. It's wet. This is so dumb. Not too slippery. Got other people up there. Put on a show just now. Holy shit, that was scary. But we made it. Got two people that just saw that whole thing. That's kind of cool. Yeah. I guess now I gotta cross back over that way. Those guys are just going right through the water. Wow, that was a thrill. All right, moving on. Onward and upward. All right, make my way up. Not icy or anything yet. Probably 3/4 of a mile in. Only thing that's been on my mind this whole time is the fact that I have to cross that log again on the way back. My shoes are getting muddier and it's still raining. So we'll see. Might have to hunt around for another route across that thing. That couple behind me did something else, so maybe I can ask them. We'll see. All right, quick update. This is what the past 30 minutes have looked like. Just avoiding the water. This was all ice last weekend. Pretty solid. Yeah, very wet out. I'm soaked. Pause. Anyways, moving forward. All right, so I'm going to skip through a lot of the rest of the footage, but as you can see, I ended up actually linking up with the couple that was behind me, and we hiked up together, the three of us. The trickiest part after that first river was this second river crossing, where we ended up just using another tree. This guy did the scooch technique. I just kind of hopped myself up and jumped over. We had to hike up a bit to find this, so we ended up off trail, and finding our way back to the trail proved pretty tricky. I had to pull up all trails on my phone. Right here, getting pretty discouraged, just making our way through the snow. Probably 2 to 3 feet of snow at some points. Ended up finding our way to one of the chairlifts at Waterville Valley and went out to just check it out. But ended up deciding that it would be easier to just take the actual ski trail itself. Gave the chairlift a push here. Maybe questionable, don't sue me, Waterville Valley. But ended up just taking the ski trail up from here because these guys didn't have micro spikes. And I knew from last weekend it was going to be pretty icy on the trail itself. So just wanted to stick together. As you can see here, I finally got some use out of my micro spikes for the first time. Definitely gave me a huge advantage just moving up and down these icy portions. Found the T-bar, realized we were getting relatively close to the summit. Micro spikes were kind of coming on and off at this point. So you can see here, there's a cool viewpoint. Just staring into the abyss on a day like today where there's literally no view, unfortunately. I remember skiing Waterville Valley years ago and really liking the view, so I was kind of bummed that it wasn't a clearer day. But coming in this morning, as you heard on my commentary, I was pretty discouraged, fully planning on just kind of scoping it out and turning around. But ended up, you'll see in a second here, actually making the summit. So this is my first 4,000 footer and did it in pretty questionable circumstances. This was a cool portion of the trail where it all just kind of clears up. And then this is the summit itself. I mean, laughable in a way to just look out and see that you literally have no view at all. You're just looking at the tops of the trees right in front of you and you can't see anything past that. So kind of a bummer. But making our way down from here, We ended up just taking the ski trails all the way down because we didn't want to have to cross those logs again. It's just too risky. So the descent wasn't very exciting, just walking down the ski trail. I only got this one clip. All right, on the drive back from Tecumseh to Tamworth now. Really excited to have even summited at all today, to be honest. It was dumping rain this morning driving out there. As you guys saw in the video, really rough conditions. Even the people in the parking lot were saying you can't make it past like 10-15 minutes, like a quarter mile, and you know, the river totally blocks you. It's a foot deep. And then when I got there, I just had to make it across that log, which may be questionable decision making. But I'm happy that I did that. Had I not done it, wouldn't have been able to summit today. So on the way down, just ended up taking the ski trails for Waterville Valley rather than the actual trails for Mount Tecumseh. That definitely made the descent a lot faster because we weren't just winding back and forth through the woods. You know, you're just going pretty much straight shot down the mountain. So I think I ended up doing it in about 4 hours total. But yeah, overall, just really happy to have summited my first 4,000 footer. Did it on a rainy day where this morning it was not looking likely that that was going to happen. So just excited to have gotten that done. Heading back home. I'm parked right now at the beach at the end of the neighborhood that I talked about yesterday. Stats from the hike yesterday, it was exactly 5.5 miles, 3 hours and 15 minutes. Elevation gain was about 2,350 feet, 15K steps. My knees and hips are definitely feeling it, but good training hike. I was going to try to do another big one today, but just going to do a little nature walk with Cooper here. There's like a 2.5 mile trail that's not far from here that's pretty flat, so nothing crazy. Another rainy day, but just going to do that and head home. So yeah, I doubt anybody's watching this, but if you are, thanks for watching.